Bob Myers, who was with us. Bob, always great to see you. Thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me on, Vince.
Well, I know basketball right now is somewhat secondary for you, given that head coach and your friend Steve Kerr is out for this series. I wonder if you can update us on his condition, which has been, a very fluid situation over the past few days, including that procedure Friday that he had at Duke.
Yeah, Vince, it's hard because me, you, his family, him, the doctors, it's just been so hard to pin this thing down. We've all wanted to give that answer and give something more definitive, him more than anybody. It's his life, right? I mean, he's the one dealing with it. But unfortunately, this is a hard one. It's been a hard one for a couple years now. And when he's coming back, I don't know. And I've been asked that, as you can imagine, often, privately and publicly. But I would say this, and I do believe this, he's going to get better. I do believe that. I can say that as strongly as possible. What I cannot say, and actually no one can say, is that when it's going to be. I that's the truth. It's not a company line. That's not, I'm withholding. And the hard thing, Vince, is now the answer of I don't know, for some reason, nobody trusts it. But that's the truth. And so I'll tell you the truth. And when he can coach, or, for example, if we find that he won't be able to coach in the playoffs, we'll say that. I think he'd want us to say that. But right now, we're still hoping he can come back.
Bob, Steve Smith, when you guys constructed this team in the offseason, obviously Kevin Durant was a big part, but you lost a lot of size. You lost Harrison Barnes. Did you guys think it would come together that quickly in the regular season defensively? We know offensively you had a lot of guys that really mesh, but to me, defensively, it was ahead of schedule as far as these guys gelling and the lack of size. But then you added some old guys who, they don't move well, David West and Zaza Pachulia, but they know how to play on that end.
No, that's a good point, Steve. I mean, I think you guys played. I mean, you can talk about it better than I can. But as far as a team and how long it takes to become a team or to become what you hope it would become, it's a lot longer than people think. And sometimes it can be more than a season even. If you look at maybe your own career and maybe some of the teams you were on, it wasn't the first year you played together. It was the second or third or fourth. Fortunately, most of our core has played together. And then you add Kevin, who is so good that he's going to make you play a different way. And for us, it's been positive. But defensively, which is what you're asking about, I really credit our coaches and the players too. I mean, there's a willingness to learn. And I think defensively, sometimes it's a mental commitment from the players. Having a guy like Ron Adams as a coach to kind of lead that charge. I think guys like JaVale McGee, David West, Zaza Pachulia, who you're talking about as our bigs, they've all come a long way defensively. Some of it's philosophical, some of it's just engaging in it. But you never know when you sign guys. To be honest, what's going to happen? But our defense it's been really good this year.
Bob, 73-9 is pretty impressive. That this season has been the same. When you think of your team, though, now, because you mentioned it usually sometimes takes longer than a season to gel, to figure out who you are identity-wise. If we go out to the East, we hear some of the same things coming out of some of the teams out there where they're still exploring and improving on their days off. Would you prefer this team with 6, 7, 8 days off? Is there something they can get better at, or would you prefer them to keep playing?
I prefer us to win.
As soon as possible, winning.
It's a luxury. These are high-class problems if you're talking about what you'd prefer. But I would say, win tonight would be the first thing you'd ask for. And then the rest, you guys know. I don't know. I watch our players. I mean, you guys played in the playoffs. Both you guys played probably deep into the playoffs. So, Rick, you could answer that better than me. I mean, I think certain guys may be more rhythm. Guys like Clay and Steph, they don't forget how to shoot basketball in 8 days. Certain other guys that need more rhythm and are more rhythm players, it's different. Like I played horse with Del Curry the other day, and it was just embarrassing how bad I was. And I was I had warmed up for 4 or 5 minutes. So the point is, if you can shoot, if you really are, you guys played with Steve, you could probably do it. I mean, you could take a year off of shooting and come out and be a great shooter. That's different. But as far as your conditioning and things like that, I think this time of year, rest probably is the most paramount issue, more than rhythm, because you can get back into rhythm in a game, the first game from a layup. That's at least what I think, but to be honest, I don't play, so you guys might know more than me.
Hey, Bob, I can still shoot. You think you can sign me up? Then?
Easy.
Yeah, Steve, seriously, you could play in this NBA. Man, you'd be playing.
As long as you
still.
don't have to run.
They didn't value you enough, Steve. You never got your proper due. You know, now the shooting is so celebrated. I mean, you probably would have taken 10 threes a game in this league. I'm not
my gosh.
8, probably 8.
Easily.
Oh, Bob
Don't you
is making
think?
me smile. Oh, for sure. In this league, I took 15.
And nobody. Hey, the best thing is nobody would have said anything about it.
I know.
Nobody.
Oh my God.
Bob, before we let you
So-
go, just your thoughts on the job that Mike Brown has done as the acting head coach now and moving forward.
I think it's been tremendous, Vince. And when I say tremendous, I don't just mean in-game coaching. I mean, as you guys know, you haven't done a job before. It can be very daunting and intimidating. You're an NBA head coach. That's media 3 times a day. That's a different responsibility. Substitutions, drawing up timeouts, plays, everything, making these decisions. But Mike, fortunately for us, he's seen it all as a coach. He's coached in the finals. He's been the coach of the year. He's been let go. And I don't say that to demean him, but he's seen all sides of this thing, just like you guys as players. Once you're traded once you got your big contract, after you've done these things, you develop an ability to you develop a thickness of skin where there's not much someone can throw at you. And I look at Mike Brown as a guy like that, where certainly not intimidated. He's coached stars. He's coached LeBron. He coached Kobe. Knows how to do it. He's respected. Knows the officials. So he checks all these boxes. Obviously, he would love, as would I, for Steve to be here coaching. But as far as a capable replacement, you can't find a much better guy than Mike Brown.
Bob Myers, always a pleasure to speak with you, sir. And best
right.
of luck in this game and moving forward. And our best to your head coach, Steve Kerr, as well. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.